you think of certain companies, you think of wholesomeness, don't you? Films that you wanted to go and see time and time again. You know, the classics like The Sound of Music. But in this 21st century woke world, even The Sound of Music on tour over here in the United Kingdom has to come with a trigger warning. I know, nothing to do with the singing of Edelweiss, I might point out. More to do with the fact that apparently there's Nazis in it and all sorts of negativity, whereas people before just took the story as it was, enjoyed it and moved on. Now, of course, the big woke world that we're all living in, and woke, for those that don't know, is basically people who are against anything fun. You know, all the negatives come out from these people. It's as simple as that. They don't want you to enjoy yourself because they can find something negative in it. You know what I'm talking about. We've seen it so many times. But when it affects big companies, then you truly have a problem. And there's none bigger right now in the world than this particular organization that has for many years turned a huge profit. So much so it was already seen as wholesome family entertainment with its theme parks that everybody wanted to go to if you could afford. But now it's literally, quite literally, on life support. And they have a bigger problem. You see, the Disney organization have lost billions on their recent films, but many of the management team have come out in support of these said films because they tick boxes, you know, the relevant boxes that they're also keen to make sure that we are all in line with. Forget the storyline, we have to make sure we cast the right people in their mind. Now, for instance, in our imagery, Snow White is, of course, a raven-haired, white-skinned, red-lipped character. They want to cast a black person in that role. Nothing wrong with that as such, but the bottom line is, could you safely say the same be said, for instance, of casting a white actor to play Sammy Davis Jr.? But now Disney, as I say, have a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is truly this. You see, in order to get back on track profit-wise, they'll have to clear out a lot of their management team, allegedly. And the bottom line for that is this. Those locked, watertight contracts are going to have to be paid off, and paid off big, which will dent, once again, major profits. Now, what's interesting over here, a cinema chain also has gone bust, the Empire Cinema chain. I would predict the first of many, and that's simply all down to the fact that the big studios of the day that really provided these cinemas with what customers want to see are simply no longer doing it. So by default, not only Disney are trap paying their executives to get out of their contracts, but now it's impacting over on the cinematic world too. And if cinemas start to close down, then literally many will be lost forever. The simple fact is this, and I'll give this advice free to the head of Disney, Bob Iger. Make what people want. If you make a film that people want to see, forget about the tick boxing and even re-release things without trigger warnings. People may just come back. If not, it's literally Disney down the dumpster. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.